Hello, hello. I am Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Thursday. I look forward to talking to you guys every Tuesday and Thursday on Coffee with Connie about things that may affect you or the property that you own and being able to purchase or sell real estate and some of the nuances or things that you may need to know about that. So I hope you're having a great day. I really look forward to talking to you guys. And if you do me a favor, if you happen to be watching us either live or on the replay, first of all, thank you so much for your time. But secondly, please check in. Let us know that you're on. Also, let me know if you enjoy the things we're talking about, or if you have questions yourself, please share those with me. Those are some of the ways that we know about experiences that you're having, so we can share topics to help others too. So hopefully the information that we give you is helpful, and if it is, please also share. I'd love it if you'd share the information with people you know, because that is our goal, is to get information out there for you, to be a resource of information to help you with your home purchase, with your home sale, to answer maybe some questions, to give you some information before you get too far into the process. So as we've said before, it's really important that you choose your realtor wisely to make sure that it's somebody that you can work with. Take the time to choose who's going to do your mortgage, because that person is somebody who's going to get all of your financial information. And thirdly, and just as important, make sure you do some research and choose who does your closing, because not only do we take the time to pull everything together and do all of those pieces and make sure everything comes together perfectly for you, but we also make sure that your home ownership is protected when you walk away from the table. You have the right to choose who does that closing, and so we encourage you to make sure that you take the time to find the right company for you. So today I wanted to talk to you about some things that have come up recently with us. As I've told you before, I have a lot of information that I can share with you, and so if we don't have something unusual happening, then I usually just go off of a calendar of information that I want to share. But like we did on Tuesday, again today, we actually had an unusual situation that I really wanted to share with you guys. And the reason that these things come up is because there's a lot of neighborhoods that may be in your community that you don't even know about that actually have some kind of unusual requirements for either the purchaser or the seller. And so I want to talk about some of those things for just a minute. Because there may be things that you don't know about, and you go to look in a neighborhood and maybe your realtor doesn't know because they haven't sold something in that neighborhood, and then we find out when we do the search on the title that there's actually some things in there that need to be addressed that may be a little different than other neighborhoods or traditional situations. So as we talk, you know, we are licensed in both Maryland and Virginia to do work, so we have experiences in those areas. And we've also uploaded some information on our website, so you certainly can go on there and get any of those resources as well. But today I wanted to talk to you specifically about a couple of things that are neighborhoods that have kind of some unusual requirements. So the first example I wanted to give you is a neighborhood that I know of in Southern Maryland that actually has a kind of significant water and sewer fee. And the reason for that is because that when the properties were developed initially to run the water lines into that particular area, a separate system had to be set up. And so now what they do is they actually charge a flat fee, not a per use fee on your water and sewer. You have a pretty large flat fee, and then you have a per use fee as well. And that's kind of common in a lot of neighborhoods that are built in some outlying areas that don't want to be on private well and septic systems, that they actually bring water into that neighborhood. And maybe the developer decided when they did that development that in order to make that a more appealing neighborhood for people to purchase lots in, that they brought in that water and sewer. What that means though is that the purchasers, when that property is sold, will have to take over those requirements to make sure that they pay those amounts. So sometimes it's a water and sewer fee when I say unusual requirements. Not, oh, looks like we're back online, so hopefully we're all set. So I've had some neighborhoods that we deal with actually have a community well system where instead of having individual wells on each property, there is a well in that neighborhood that services all of those properties. And they actually pay a community well fee to that company. They pay a servicing fee, and then they actually pay for usage as well. So that may be an unusual requirement in certain neighborhoods. And I know of a few of those in Charles County, Maryland. So Another kind of unusual requirement may be a neighborhood association that has some fees that they charge going forward that are different than other types of neighborhoods. When you are in a neighborhood that has a community association, you may have association fees that may be that cover insurance, common areas, and maybe a pool or a activity area in that neighborhood. But there are some neighborhoods that actually have much more extensive fees because of some things that they've had to do. There, for example, there's a neighborhood that I know of that's in Maryland as well that actually had to do a lot of repairs to the private roads and a lot of the common areas in the neighborhood. And so because of that, they actually, as a community, agreed that they would split those costs. And going forward, now they collect street fees and common area fees. And so on top of those homeowners associations, there's other fees, transfer fees, and those types of things that maybe other communities that have homeowners associations don't have all those specific separate fees. So again, another neighborhood that you wouldn't necessarily know, and if your realtor isn't familiar with the area, they may not have that information. So we would find out when we do the title search, and so you would be finding out a little bit after you went into contract with somebody. Another kind of unusual nuance I wanted to talk about for a second is a common thing in the title community that a lot of us know about, but a lot of people outside of our community don't understand, and it's called a right of first refusal. Hey Craig, how are you? Great to see you. I haven't talked to you or seen you in quite a while. I hope you're doing well. Hey Brian, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Good to see you. So a right of first refusal is something that is going to show up in that ownership chain of title. And usually it runs with certain neighborhoods, and I know of a couple in Virginia that have it in the northern neck of Virginia, and a couple in southern Maryland that have it, that are when the developer originally developed the property, they put a clause in the ownership documents that said that if any of the properties were sold at a future time, the new purchaser, the seller had to actually go back to the developer or whoever designated it at the time, it may be the association, and ask if that whoever that entity is, whether it's the original owner or the homeowners association, wanted to purchase that property before this purchaser. So if the seller goes to sell their property and they get a contract on that property from someone, then they have to actually, in this instance, go back to whoever that entity or person is that has this right and say, here I have a contract on my home for someone to purchase this home or this piece of property, and they're going to purchase it. Would you want to purchase it for the same exact terms? And the person that holds that right would have to purchase it at the exact same terms as the contract that the seller has received from a third-party purchaser, but that person reserves the right anytime that property transfers to be able to purchase that. Now, we don't see that happen a lot in newer neighborhoods now. A lot of times those kind of things happened with individuals because maybe that it was a small neighborhood and they lived in the neighborhood, and maybe they wanted to be able to develop the property and sell it, but maybe they wanted the opportunity, if they wanted to expand their property ownership later, to purchase back in one of those pieces. But they would have to purchase it for whatever that contract is that that third-party purchaser was ready to do. Some associations have it as well, and I don't see that quite as often, but again, whoever that entity is that might have that first right of refusal. I know there's one in Virginia, and we just loaded some information on our website about one that the adjoining property owners have the right of first refusal. So if you live in a neighborhood and you have a neighbor on either side of you, and you live in that particular neighborhood that has this in the ownership chain of documents, this requirement, and let's say Joe Williams lives on the right side of me and Mary Smith lives on the left side of me, and I want to sell my home, I get a contract from a third-party purchaser, I have to go to both of those people on either side of me and say, okay, I'm selling my property, here's the contract I have, and you have the right to decide if you want to purchase it instead of them. And I have to go to each of them and them to decide. And usually there's some timing in the document that gives them that right, that says they have to make a decision within X amount of days. But this is a real concern that you need to be aware of. And what we try to do is provide you with information as we come across some of these neighborhoods, and it's up on our website. If you know about some of these kind of unusual things and they're not on our list, please share, because we want to make sure that the information we have is as up to date as possible. So those are some unusual kind of nuances that I've seen and that we run across. Certainly there's all kinds of other things out there, but I just wanted to give you some food for thought, some things to think about, and again, drive you back to some information that's on our website that can help you. If you're looking in the Northern Neck of Virginia or you're looking in Southern Maryland, those are some areas that we have a lot of information on already. I'm happy to load any information for anywhere in Maryland or Virginia, so if you run across any of that, please let me know so we can definitely get that information out for everybody. So yeah, hopefully I gave you a little tidbit of information today that maybe you didn't have before. I'm trying to keep our Coffee with Connie's a little bit shorter so you guys can get the information and get on with your day. So hopefully we helped you with something you didn't know. Please share. I'd love for you to be able to share this information with people that you know, because we want to always get our information out there to help people. As I've said, we are trying to give you pieces of value every single month throughout 2017. That's my requirement with my execute word for the year. And our piece of value that we have launched yesterday is our Welcome Home Guide. So if you know somebody who is new to Southern Maryland or to the Northern Neck of Virginia, those Welcome Home Guides are just full of information that they can use. They're on our website. They are in our social media links. They've been emailed out. We have hard copies. There's digital copies that people can download. So please go out there and share that information as well. We are really excited about this new project, and it has all kinds of contact information for all of the services that those individuals new to our community will need to know how to get to the things that they need. So please share that. Go to our website, www.footetitlegroup.com, and go to the resources tab, either under the buyers, sellers, or realtors, lenders tab, and you'll be able to get any of this information. You'll see the link for the neighborhoods with unusual requirements. You'll see our homeowners association guides, which we just updated and reloaded for 2017. And hopefully you find some information that you need there. We would love to be your closing company of choice. You have the right to choose. So choose Foot Title Group. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks so much for your time. I'll talk to you soon.